Okay, there we go. Coming back.
All right. Are we the first group back?
Everybody should be back.
Who's our speaker? Wait a second. Who Howard, who took notes? Before we lose it.
We might all be back. We just can't see each other.
Okay.
We went really fast. We felt like we ran out of time.
Yeah. We just got our time in.
We did. We
Beth,
spent
you're
quite
on
some
mute.
Let
time.
us remember, Beth has her schedule. We have to stick to it.
That's right.
That's a good skill
She's
though.
That is a
Beth.
very good skill. That is a very good skill.
It
I
is,
would
isn't it?
confirm on that.
Remember
you're
that,
on mute.
everybody.
Beth, you're on mute.
Thank you, Bob. How many groups did we
That's-
end up having?
5.
5. Okay. So let's start with group 5. What were your thoughts about the 2 questions? Who's the reporter for that group?
Okay, I was.
Thank you, Gordon.
Okay, well, basically, we sort of went round everybody, so to speak, and asked everybody to come up with, you know, like a quick sentence as to what you need to be a good leader. So we came up with good communication. Don't be a dictator. Some of these kind of cross over with each other. Don't be a dictator. Listen to what your members are
Only for a
saying.
day, though, right?
Pardon?
You can only be a dictator for a day, right?
Yeah,
Just being
yeah,
funny.
that's
I'm
right.
being
Yeah.
funny.
Listen to your members. You have to be well organized and encouraging members to get involved in as many activities as possible.
Good, thank you. How about somebody from group 2? That was our group, Rachel. I think it was Denise, right?
Yeah, sure. So I'm going to report for our group. So our group seemed to run out of time pretty quickly. And however, in the time that we had, we made some good progress. And the qualities that came forward in terms of to really make a good leader were an individual that's able to set the tone and set a positive tone for the club and the members. And the other one that we were just starting to touch on and talk about was an individual that has the capacity to empower and engage. And one of the suggestions that came forward, which I think is a wonderful suggestion, and that is the president-elect is going to be reaching out to members that aren't very active in the club currently to kind of get a sense and get some feedback in terms of, you know, what could we do different to get you more engaged in club activities. So that was sort of what we talked about in our breakout room.
Yes. Who's the reporter for group 1?
That's me, Howard.
Okay, Howard.
So we have a number of suggestions here. Leader is a good sounding board. A listener, allowed others to participate in discussion. Bring your contacts, members, and sponsors on side with the objectives of the club. Communication, again, allow people to express themselves. A good organization, tone setting, give the club direction, empathy, and then check your ego. Allow other ideas to be brought forward.
Good, thank you. Group 3. Who's the reporter for that group?
I think we lost. I don't see him.
Oh, I'm here. I was on mute.
Okay.
I was on mute.
Okay.
We didn't quite have enough time for everybody to speak, but we almost did. A couple of the thoughts were like all of the elements that were talked about earlier are important. And it's not that any one is more than another. You really have to look at the whole integration of it and all elements. And you don't have to be perfect on everything. It's just a matter of trying to find balance on all the different characteristics again that we had talked about before. There was another comment about being inspiring. You have to draw people to your leadership and direction, so that's important. As well as it's important to listen and to be open to ideas and not necessarily your own idea is the best. But at the end of the day, there's times where you just have to make a decision. And as president, you have to do that as a leader and move forward because you can't talk about everything forever. Sometimes you just have to move forward.
Right, good. All right. And then finally, group 4, please.
Hi, hi Beth, it's
Hi,
Linda.
Linda.
We had a fairly quick time also, but we came up with about 13 different attributes and different thoughts. And ones that haven't been said so far is you have to be resilient. You have to have respect for your team, respect for others, and also respect for yourself, knowing that you're doing a job that is really important and you're really enjoying with it. One person said you have to be a salesperson and you have to get people to buy into goals and what you'd like to achieve for the year. You have to be the spirit and the cheerleader for the group. You have to be a super person, but I like what Doug said. Sometimes you're going to make mistakes and it's good to admit that also. So I think that we've got it all. Thank you.
Yeah, none of us is perfect. We'll all make mistakes from time to time.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh.
As long as you recognize them early on and correct them, that's what's important. All right, let's spend a couple of minutes in talking about different leadership styles. And as I work through the slides, thank you. You can go on to the next one too, Dave. Recognize that, again, there's lots of information on different leadership styles. But as I speak to these next 2 slides, I want you to take a moment to reflect. What kind of leader are you? I'm not going to ask you to share that with the group, but I just want you to reflect on. I want you to reflect on that as we work through. So there are different kinds of leadership styles, and I'm just going to share 2 different models with you. You know, you've got the participative leadership style. That's a person who really wants to involve everybody in the decision making, right? You have a situational leader. Their leadership style can change with the situation and the factors. The transactional leadership is really looking for systems of reward. You do this, I give you that. And transformational, they lead through, and many of you were just talking about that when we were talking about characteristics of good leaders. They lead through inspiration and enthusiasm. Okay, next slide, please, Dave. And then you see these 3 diagrams. You have the autocratic leader who says, do this. Then you have on the far side, the democratic who says, well, what do you think we should do? And then you have somebody who's in between, do this or that as you see fit. So there's different kinds of leadership styles. I'm going to have Bob put you back into another breakout room. This time I'm going to give you 10 minutes to talk about the next slide. And I want you to reflect on, your own club experience. And I'm not asking you to name the person, but think about what club president was the best in your opinion, and then talk about what seems to be the significant differences between strong and weak Rotary leaders. So two questions. Maybe we should give them 15 minutes. Bob, what do you think, guys? You want 10 or 15 minutes? Oh, let's go with 10. We'll go with 10, and then you just break up your conversation in two 5-minute segments. There's 10 from Deb Murray. Thanks, Deb. So let's talk about for 5 minutes in your group. Why was that person the best leader from your perspective? And then what seems to be what are the significant differences between strong and weak Rotary leaders? So I'm going to ask Bob to put you back into random groups. We'll give you 10 minutes. again, please appoint a reporter. If you have new people new to you and new to your group, please introduce yourself, and we'll see you back, and then we'll have a large group conversation about club leadership.
Okay, here we go.
Thanks, Bob.
Oh, we got a different group.
Yep.
Sorry, Doug, you're stuck with me. Who was your favorite president? You're on mute.
This is a big group.
Something-
Screen, Bob?
I think we haven't split into
Something
groups.
hasn't happened
I don't
yet
think
here.
it-
Just a
I don't
minute.
think it's
Thank you,
happened yet.
Bob. I was gonna say, there's a lot of people here.
Yeah, I don't think
There's
it's
this-
happened yet,
It's
Bob.
not going. No, it's not. I opened all rooms. What's going on here?
I didn't get anything saying which room I'm supposed to go to.
No, we didn't.
None of
Yeah,
us did. We're all looking at each other right now.
Let
You're
me,
lovely.
yeah, let me try this again here. Breakout rooms, open all rooms.
To close the
It's not working here.
You might have to
Dave, do you
close
want to try the breakout rooms from your end?
Here we go.
There we
Okay.
go.
Okay, we're underway.
And then there was us.
No, Benoit is still.
Noise. Yeah, I
Benoit.
see it's not joined. He's been having trouble with the
Hmm.
connection, I think.
Yes. He doesn't see the slides either, so.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's what he said. Can you transfer him, Bob, to a room? Can you move him?
I'll try and do that, see what happens. No,
Dave, you, no?
Maybe Dave has to do it.
I just tried it, didn't work, so. Benoit, can you hear us, Top? Are you online?
Maybe it's on.
Something wrong with the connection there, I think, with him.
Or why? Dave, you can stop recording.
Oh, yes. Are we here? I'm looking to see where that is now. Where did it go? Gallery, no?
On your computer, Dave, it should be down at the bottom.
Yeah.
I found it here.